All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Shai. And shalom to the real sisters out there. All right, today, I want to do a post Pasach live on these topics on first off, you know, I want to go into how the Suez canal getting blocked up, and how basically how that's gonna affect the world economy and bring about this economic collapse, you know, which is gonna bring about this famine. And this Pasach, could have very well been the last one. Could be um, the last week of unleavened bread, right? With Joe Blow making the moves that he's making, I could see it being the last one. Let me get an article on the Suez Canal. I heard about it earlier, but I was like, but it's a lot that's been going on. So I didn't do a live on it, but then I saw the brother he did the brother Bakara month. He did live on it, and I was kind of thinking the same thing. This shit could really cause the economy like to finally collapse. This could be the final nail in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? To the Suez Canal, that's like a major that's like a major trading. That's like a important area when it comes to world trade. So if that's blocked up, like especially from the east, from countries in Asia and shit, and Indian countries, yeah, in the Middle East even, to countries in Europe and even all the way over here to Babylon, and you know, basically I'm gonna get into it because this could be that black swan event, which basically that means some event that an event that comes out of nowhere that no one saw coming. In fact, let me get that definition of black swan event. This could be it right here. Black swan event. Black swan is a unpredictable event that is beyond what is normally expected of a situation and has potentially severe consequences. Black swan events are characterized by their extreme rarity, severe impact, and widespread insistence they were obvious in hindsight. And basically, this fits that definition because how often do you get a ship stuck in them? Slovakia, Slovakia. Yeah, Esau is gonna mess with the live, of course. Shalom, Aqua. Shalom to all the Akim and Aqua that's tuning in. That's gonna tune in. Yahba Shimmy Al Shai Baraka Thumb to all of y'all. Yeah, this could be that black swan event. It happened out of nowhere. Ship got stuck in the Suez Canal. That don't happen. that don't usually happen, and it could have devastating consequences for the global economy, which could bring about that famine. It's a lot of shit that's gonna cause it, but that could be the final, that could be the straw that the final straw that breaks the camel's back. And let me get a let me get an article on the Suez Canal crisis. Got an article from Wall Street Journal published published. I think it was published 9 minutes ago. Was updated 9 minutes ago, and it says Suez Canal crisis sends shipping lines scrambling for alternatives. Industry is rerouting ships, forecasting delays and congestion at ports in the longer term. Shipping companies rerouted vessels, refused to take on new customers. Matter of fact, let's say you could listen to this article. Let me see if it will play. This All right, so hey, as you can see, man, the Suez Canal, man, the Suez Canal crisis is causing a bunch of problems. It's basically causing a traffic jam when it comes to shipping. It's basically causing a shipping traffic jam for shipping for shit that needs to be shipped from basically the Western Hemisphere from Europe, everything west of the Suez Canal, also Africa as well, to the east, you know, from the Middle East that's not right there in the Mediterranean to India, China, rest of East Asia, Australia, the Eastern Hemisphere, the rest of it, and that's costing a lot of money, and that's actually going to cause the gas prices to rise. Because I even looked up something else about the Suez Canal crisis, and yeah, it's right here, and it says the giant ship stuck in the Suez Canal is costing the global economy an estimated 400 million per hour. A cargo ship the size of the Empire State Building has been jammed in a vital trade route for days. The ever-given blockage of the Suez Canal cost $400 million per hour, Lloyd's List estimates. And this was 3 days ago. This was 3 days ago, and it's still stuck in the Suez Canal. And hey, more than let me get this article right here. It say more than 300 ships is stuck on either side of the blockage, and some vessels had to reroute around Africa. That's how bad. That's how bad this problem is becoming. Like, all these ships are having to reroute around Africa. There's only so much gas that they got too. Only so much gas that they got, and to go around Africa, it also takes more gas. So what's that gonna do? That's gonna also put a strain on the gas as well. As well as these on the supply of gas as well as these oil tankers and shit, as well as them getting delayed. That already puts a strain on it. But you have an even bigger strain being put on on the on the oil supply, which is gonna cause the gas prices to fucking skyrocket, which is gonna cause everything else to skyrocket. And everything else that is mainly, well, it's a lot that depends on that Suez Canal. Not just that, a lot of raw resources, a lot of them depend on the Suez Canal being open and shit. But we get into this article. This is more in here. Right, lock you for that. So basically, what I want to get is that hold on. However, in a possible complication, SCA sources quoted by Reuters news agency said that a massive rock had been discovered in the bow of the ship. So, hold up. Let me go back to let me go back even more. In this article, the SCA said in a statement that dredgers had so far shifted 2,000. Okay, hold on. Although strong tides and winds complicated efforts. Okay, let me just read on down from the part that I brought out. On Saturday 14th, tugboat on Saturday 14th, tugboat pulled and pushed the Ever Given at high tide to try to dislodge it. At the same time, dredgers continued to move thousands of tons of sand and clay from where the boat was trapped in the canal's bank. Although strong tides and winds complicated efforts, the tugboats managed to move the ship 30 degrees from left to right, quote unquote, said General Osama Rabi, chairman of the Suez Canal Authority (SCA). Footage posted on Twitter appeared to show the tugboats honking their horns to celebrate the small victory. The SCA said in a statement that dredgers had so far shifted 27,000 cubic meters of sand to a depth of 18 meters (59 feet). General Raby said on Sunday that although the vessel was still stuck, there were positive indicators in the past few days' efforts. "Quote unquote, the rudder was not moving, it is now moving. The propeller is working now. There was no water underneath the bow, and now there's water under it. Yesterday there was a 4 meters, 13 feet deviation in the bow and the stern," according to Egyptian State TV. However, in a possible complication, which is more complicated, SCA sources quoted by Reuters news agency said that a massive rock had been discovered under the bow of the ship. So now you got that. General Raby said that President Sisi had ordered preparations for a possible removal of some of the ship's 18,300 containers. He had previously said he hoped such an operation would not be necessary. So now, now they're gonna try that, removing the ship's 18,300 containers. Initial report said the 400-meter long, 1,300 feet long, 200,000-ton vessel ran aground due to high winds and a sandstorm that affected visibility. However, General Raby said on Sunday that weather conditions were quote unquote not the main reason for the ship's grounding. So now they're saying that's not the main reason. "Quote unquote, there may have been technical or human errors," he told reporters without giving detail. "All of these factors will become apparent in the investigation," which, it's what was I gonna say? Like they can't figure out why it happened. And I mean I don't know. I don't know. Ultimately, Most High Yahweh, he's the one that, that set it in motion. Even if the elite somehow had a hand in it, ultimately it's the Most High Yahweh. He set it in motion because it's that time now. It's that time now. You get a preset. Second Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Verse 7. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Verse 9, and therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Yeah, it's that time. It's that time. Their hurtful works are fulfilled. It's that time. See all manner of wickedness going on. And it's been going on for years. So, hey, the Most High Yahweh, man, he may be using this to kick it in, to kick this Jacob's trouble into motion, basically to kick start it, man, to get it started. And yeah, and it was so man, if it's 400 million an hour, and that was posted 3 days ago, like imagine now how much money has been lost. Oh yeah, and what's more, General Raby estimated that Egypt was losing up to 14 million in revenue each day that the canal was closed. Yeah, because they're losing out too. In Syria, authorities have begun to ration fuel after supplies were held up by the stalled traffic in the Suez Canal. The war-torn country was already struggling with power cuts and inflation pushing up the price of goods. That's gonna that's gonna complicate shit over there in the Middle East as well, because you're gonna have because well, that's gonna complicate it because the supply line is basically cut off. That so a lot of wars, and so which is gonna fuck up their economy already doing it. So a lot of wars come from that, from the economy being fucked up. But what do you have going on over there as well? You have these devils. Besides what they're doing in Syria, they also got Iran. Iran is being sanctioned and shit. You also have you have Iran being sanctioned. And that would be one way around that. And the whole reason why they also have the war in Syria is because Iran was gonna put a they was gonna put a pipeline through Syria, into Turkey. So Iranian oil will go over there. The Saudis will also benefit. And so so this will cause those tensions to with Iran to get even more heated up, and aid could push Iran to make a move. And also the situation in Syria, they having to ration all them supplies. It's affecting their economy over there, which that could affect how the people over there view the government and all that. That's affecting them. So that's a cause for war. That's setting the stage for war as well. That's how a lot of wars start. Called oversupply. And gas prices in Europe, and even here in Babylon, of course, they gonna go up. They gonna go up a lot. They already been going up. There was an article that I heard. It was either an article or it was a video that a brother had posted where he had mentioned that there could be the possibility of $4 a gallon gas prices. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. $4 a gallon gas price. Why $4 a gallon? Wait, that article is old as fuck. Okay, this one right here. That article is from 2017. This article is from 2021. And it's from the Seattle Times. And it says why $4 a gallon gas may be coming your way this summer. This is before all this, before that shit with the Suez Canal happened. Even as oil and gasoline prices rise, industry executives are resisting their usual. Hold on, that's article in Houston too. A lot of you have a lot of stories out there too. So oh, you have to remember that ice storm that hit a lot of places. That could have lost some people. Let me get into this. Even as oil and gasoline prices rise, industry executives are resisting their usual impulse to pump more oil out of the ground, which could keep energy prices moving up as the economy recovers. The oil industry is predictably cyclical. When oil prices climb, producers race to drill until the world is swimming in petroleum and prices fall. Then energy companies that overextended themselves come more into bankruptcy. That wall, that wash, rinse, repeat cycle has played out repeatedly over the last century, 3 times in the last 14 years alone. At least for the moment, oil and gas prices are not following these old stage directions. An accelerating rollout of jobs in the United States is expected to turbocharge the U.S. economy this spring and summer, encouraging people to travel, shop, and commute. Retail gasoline sales rose last week to 100%. I mean, it's like to 1% of year-old levels just before regional lockdowns brought fuel consumption to a crawl. Practice like a Patrick behind head of petroleum said on Twitter. In addition, President Joe Biden's coronavirus relief package has put more money in the pockets of consumers, especially those who are out of work. What they're not mentioning about that, by the way, is a lot of SSI recipients that they not getting it. That they haven't been getting the STEMI. So that hey, so even with that, people that are not being helped, which is gonna affect the economy as well. There's a lot of factors. But this article was written before that shit happened in the Suez Canal. Keep that in mind. Even before Congress approved that legislation, oil and gasoline prices were rebounding after last year's collapse in fuel demand and pricing. Gas prices have risen above 35 cents a gallon on average over the last month, according to the AAA Motor Club. It could reach $4 a gallon in some states by summer. Washington would likely be among them. Washington State likely going to be among them. The statewide average was $3.267 on Monday, well above the national average of $2.864, according to AAA. West Coast markets are typically more expensive, a pattern attributed to the lack of connections to Mid-America pipeline networks, the limited number of refineries, as well as higher taxes. While overall inflation remains subdued, some economists are worried that prices, especially for fuel, could rise faster this year than they have in some time. That would hurt working class families more because they tend to drive older, less efficient vehicles and spend a higher share of their income on fuel. A lot of you Jakes, a lot of you Jakes that you work these 9 to 5s. In recent weeks, oil prices have surged to more than $65 a barrel, a level that would have seemed impossible only while some traders were forced to pay buyers to take oil off their hands. Oil prices fell by more than $50 a barrel in a single day last April to less than zero. That bizarre day seems to have become seared into the memories of old executives. The industry was forced to idle hundreds of rigs and throttle many wells shut, some for good. So what that do to supply, strained it. About 12, 1,200, so like 120,000 American oil and gas workers lost their jobs over the last year or so, and companies are expected to lay off 10,000 workers this year, according to Rystad Energy, a consulting firm. Yet even as they are making more money thanks to the higher prices, industry executives pledged at a recent energy conference that they would not expand production significantly. They also promised to pay down debt and hand out more of their profits to shareholders in the form of dividends. So that's not going to help even those workers, and they're not going to start producing more, and that's not going to help those workers either. That's just so that's going to cause it to rise even more because of yeah, that's why they're saying $4 a gallon, but it could rise even more than that because now you have that shit that's going on at the Suez Canal. And also, you have to keep in mind this also, energy prices too. These energy prices are going to go through the roof, not just gas, but not just gas prices, but energy prices in general. Because Hey, it's already gonna be high as fuck. Already high as fuck because of that ice storm that hit. Now, but they're saying that the summer, hey, but it's signs that the summer's gonna be hot. One of them signs is that the summer's gonna be hot, and I bet I could pull it up too. And probably get an article showing you that the summer's gonna be hot. That one of the signs is them what do you call it, them 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 bugs that's coming out, them cicadas that's coming out, that brood eggs. It's like the biggest swarm ever, and it's coming out April and May instead of in the summer. June, July, August. Usually they come out around then. And it's because like also it's hotter around then as well. But it's coming out in April and May. April and they're coming out then. That also shows you too. That's gonna be a hot ass summer, and that would I wouldn't be surprised because it's been like that cold ass winter, then a hot ass summer, then the spring full of storms and shit. Just more severe weather this spring and shit. It's been hell of a tornado out. Probably gonna be more. We probably have a hot ass summer, and then all that rain is gonna bring them out even more. But you know what I'm saying? That heat is gonna put it even more of a strain on it. It's just gonna be a mess. And continuing on with the article though, quote unquote, I think the worst thing that could happen right now is U.S. producers start, and that's just talking about the gas prices and energy prices. You know, just look, you gotta look at everything else that ties into that, like the food prices. The food supply is already strained. This is gonna fuck it up even more. And this is all gonna lead to that famine that's coming. Now it was prophesied, that famine of bread. But continuing on with the article though, quote unquote, I think the worst thing that could happen right now is U.S. producers start growing rapidly again. Quote unquote, Ryan Lance, chair and chief executive of ConocoPhillips, said at the IHS CERA conference and CERA Week conference and annual gathering that was virtual this year. Scott Sheffield, CEO of Natural Resources, a major Texas producer, predicted that U.S. production would remain flat at 100 million barrels a day this year, compared with 12.8 million barrels immediately before the pandemic took hold. Even OPEC and allied producers like Russia surprised many analysis this month by keeping 7 million barrels off the market. OPEC's 13 million, I mean, Salaka, 13 members and 9 partners are pumping about 780,000 barrels of oil a day, less than the beginning of the year. Even the prices have risen by 38% in recent months. Quote unquote, the discipline to support higher prices is needed for the recovery of the economy. Quote unquote, said Renee Ortiz, a former Secretary General, Renee Ortiz, former Secretary General of OPEC, who is now Ecuador's energy minister, adding that many of the group's members needed higher oil prices to balance their budgets and service the debt. Quote unquote, the reserves that they've been. So they're saying that because of that, their reserves are drained or whatever, that they're not going to produce as much and export as much. You know, the decision to keep production restrained was principally the work of Saudi Arabia in its closest Persian Gulf allies, and was a reversal of their position from just a few years ago. In late 2014, as oil prices began to sag, as U.S. oil production surged, Saudi Arabia and OPEC cranked up production, seeing prices plummeted. The cartel seemed to want to undercut drilling in the U.S. shelf, which bring the like video games. But the U.S. and oil industry is far more resilient than Saudi restrictions, but the U.S. production community provides companies cut costs for many shell companies by OPEC moving oil prices will never completely recover. The economy in Saudi Arabia and other oil independent nations will range far more than the United States. The temptation to produce more and prices to rise is not just typically, especially in countries like Colombia and Vietnam that once cut the rich oil they can before rising concerns about climate change reduce the so-called concerns about that reduce the which we all know reduce the demand for fossil fuels in favor of electric and hydrogen-powered vehicles. Russia has been pressing Saudi Arabia to boost its production cap for Pakistan, Iraq, and several more countries are exporting more. Even Iran and Venezuela, which are struggling to sell oil because of U.S. sanctions, are beginning to export more. Some analysts expect that when OPEC basically spend summer exporting more, but still, for the most part, they're not doing much. But for now, some analysis expect that when OPEC and allies meet again next month, they will allow more production to drive down price. But for now, the petroleum stockpiles are doing more cost of water to recovery. So, hey, hold on. So you have you have back and now you have this black swan event of that ship being stuck in the Suez Canal, which is going to cause it to rise even more, which is going to bring about that famine. Let me get precepts that go on that famine. Second Ezra 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, and that's how it would happen. That's one way to be brought about. No supply, no supply, or very little, and a whole lot of demand. See, because the supply is being reduced. Basically, there's like, yeah, because there's a traffic jam in the supply line. So the supply is being reduced. So you're gonna have less. Hey, you know, the most high Yahweh is, you gotta bring that food. You continue on doing that next precept for that. Second Ezra chapter 15. One thing that's gonna happen is verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbors when lead to this, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because of the lack of bread, or whatever they can find. It costs too much. And then destroy the warehouses, destroy them. Hey, they gonna run up on these stores first. Whatever's there, they gonna snatch it up. Hey, which is gonna strain the supply even more for those that didn't get to do that. And then that's gonna run out because it's so much demand for it. That's gonna run out. And then soon, they're gonna be running into houses, shit, running into wherever they find it. They're gonna be stopping these trucks that still got supplies. They're gonna be stopping them. Running into these warehouses and shit. They got these supplies and just snatching it. It's gonna lead to all out chaos because like George Salente, like he said, when when people don't got basically when people don't got nothing to lose, they lose it. So that's exactly what's gonna happen throughout the world, especially here in Babylon where people are not used to it. Yeah, that's how that's how the cities are gonna be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. And out of that chaos, people rioting because, basically there ain't shit to eat. Out of that chaos, among other reasons, out of that chaos, this thing called Esau. Well, out of that chaos, these devils, they're gonna bring their order, man. They're gonna bring that new world order. Bring and do whatever. Like they're gonna go pretty far with it, but they ain't gonna be able to go through all of it because, yeah, of course, because the Most High Yahweh, man, the Most High Yahweh ain't gonna let them fulfill all of it. He has bound it. Like, they want to be like the Most High Yahweh, be able to, but they are gonna bring, they are gonna bring hell on you tribes, and the rest of the world, even these lower level devils, but especially you tribes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, speckled bird, yeah, you Israelites that are scattered among these other nations, looking like them, being like them to the speckled bird. Mainly after you tribes, really, and that's in. Hold on, hold on. That's in. Hold on. Let me get Revelation 12, because that's where it's at. Esau is getting ready to come down. Y'all thought this so-called pandemic was in. Yeah, I mean, y'all thought because the so-called pandemic is, basically, it's ending, it's not as bad. Basically, Joe Blow talking about new normal and shit. Y'all thought that means that, y'all was in good case, but not so. Let me get Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. These devils, they know that they're gonna go down soon, so they're kicking all this shit into motion. No, and they're really, really, they've been deceived into thinking that, they're gonna achieve all this, including being like the Most High Yahweh, getting rid of you tribes. So they see that they see a window of opportunity to make it happen, but they're not gonna make all this happen. The Most High Yahweh has put it in their minds, so to basically get this shit started, and he caused that Suez Canal crisis just so they, so basically the kick started, man. Put it into the third gear. Yeah, basically, let me get that. King heart is in the hand of Yahweh. That's Proverbs 21 and 21. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. Like the rivers of water, he turns it wherever he wishes. So, and these devils, the wicked, they're the sword of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You know, so they're bamboozling everyone else, and then they themselves are being bamboozled. Hold on. Yeah, because deceived and the deceiver are his. Job 12 and 16. With them is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Like they both these devils, and you all that are being deceived by them, both his, showing you that these devils, they're puppets and they're themselves, but yeah, these devils they're starting to move now. Most High Yahweh is also making moves through these devils, using these devils as pawns, because that's what they are, and also making moves on his own. Like that could have been brought about by the Most High Yahweh himself. Could have had angels do it, or it could have been these devils could be up some. Either way, the Most High Yahweh. Either way, the Most High Yahweh, caused that black swan event to happen. Is there evil in the city and Yahweh not done it? It's all there. Amos 3 and 16. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh has not done it? So, there you go. So he's causing all this to bring Esau's rulership down ultimately, because that Jacob's trouble, that famine, which is a part of Jacob's trouble, has to happen. Let me check how much battery I have. May have to. I'll be back. I'll go charge my phone.